Coming Clippers A today got a phenomenal death battle. Simon versus Kyle. Rain versus Drill. Now, I've seen both White Lanterns and the Lantern stuff, and I've seen Gurren Lagann. Both of them, absolute cinema. But I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be one of those DC patterns where the person from DC usually wins. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put my bet on the White Lantern because it's just DC. You already know these people will be OP. Then again, that's not. Let me be clear. Let me be clear, transparent. Simon is OP as hell. Bro transcends gods for real. Like, this man is OP. But like I said, it's probably gonna be the same thing they always do with the person from DC usually wins. But enough yapping. Let's get into it. Oh! Hey. Big Simon.
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Hey, dude. Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer.
This is an interesting way to start the fight. Because, you know, in a lot of death battles, they have to find a way of, well, they basically have to figure out a way how to get them to fight. Like, how these characters end up fighting. This is a pretty interesting way. Because the Lanterns are basically glorified space cops. So this would be a good way to get them to fight. I'm not gonna lie, it makes sense.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Hey! Balto. Oh yeah! Full counter!
I'm told I'm bad with authority.
Woo! Woo!
Tell me about it. 4!
Damn.
4. Okay. I like that. I like that. That was corny, but I like it.
That's nothing! My drill will pierce
The heavens! Phenomenal. Bro, if you seen the anime, that's a phenomenal line. Like, that line in the anime had me out of my seat, bro. No cap. Cause okay, if you okay, I'm yapping. If you watch Gurren Lagann, every time he evolves, his drill goes higher. Like, he changes what he says. Like, it started off low, but eventually he got it to where he says, "My drill will pierce the heavens," and then he says something along the lines later on, "My drills will create the heavens." He slowly evolved this saying, and it was so tough by the end of it. Oh yeah.
Take it to Gurren Lagann!
Yeah, get off me.
That's really cool.
Why do I like Superman? Is it me? That like a white cosmic Superman, but maybe just me.
I'm a digger.
Do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Woo!
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
If you ain't know,
Now you know.
That's some heat. That's some gas. The lines, the writing, A1. Phenomenal writing. Yes, sir. Get over here, buddy. Woo!
I'm Simone the Digger. If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down.
Oh, yeah. Big body. Hey! Get off me!
Stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me.
Oh, mine
your hope
affected.
for the future.
Oh yeah, so he can, since he has the power ring of every emotion, he can basically kind of affect people's mindsets to, you know, affect them. But Simon's willpower is very high, so it's probably not gonna work.
Choose life.
Have faith in a Simone that believes in you.
Boost!
Super Tekken Topa Gurren Lagann! My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens! Giga Drill Free!
Yes, sir! Full power! Oh, yeah! Woo! What happened? What happened? Because their power levels are almost their power levels are basically incalculable. Okay. That makes sense. Both of them have like basically infinite power, but like somebody got to win though. So I don't know. Okay.
The super weapon wasn't your mech. It was me.
Hold on. We doing Naruto Sasuke style? Both on the battles when boys had ran out of chakras instead of boxing? That's what we do? I expect it.
Then, Simone,
Get down to
I'm
knees.
taking you in.
Oh yeah.
The brightest day.
Oh yeah. It's darkest night.
No
evil shall escape my
sight. Let those who worship evil's might
Beware my power. Oh yeah, do it to him. Relentless light. That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Let's see you!
Oh my God. Okay, he won. I was wrong, big dog. I was wrong. I was wrong. He won that. My fault.
Grit those teeth!
Woo! And that boy with the Shoryuken. Hey, boys is boxing.
You'd make a good lantern.
Simon of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Big dog.
Hey-o!
All right, listen. Am I sad White Lantern lost? Not really. I like Simon a lot. I like Simon a lot more. It just I was kind of predicting it to lean more to DC like it usually does, but hey, I don't mind descending.
For the guy with the snazzy sunglasses!
When both combatants possess unlimited power, it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take speed. Simone can hit an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First
Makes sense,
up,
makes sense.
imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting a
Except the White Lantern has a little. White Lantern has a little more versatility. Simon can only make creative uses with drills, while the White Lantern can make anything he can think of. So while people have high imagination, there is a creativity gap of what they can shape and make. But anyway,
across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound
okay. So we about to get into some deep scientific stuff right now, huh? Understood. All right, lock in.
absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their
That was literally Simon's whole thing. Simon's whole thing was fighting stronger opponents more dangerous missions and surpassing them. That was literally his whole thing. So I honestly should have seen this coming.
Willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something.
I have never heard that same informational level. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is that like more than DNA? I don't know.
That thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
Yeah.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset,
So he had an out, but he couldn't control the out. That's crazy.
forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway?
That's a fact.
That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied
Okay, so they tied him away. Simon won in the categories. Okay, so he's the winner. Got it. That's
life
that's
itself,
crazy.
but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
Wow.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Yeah.
Next time on
Death Battle. Who we got? Roadrunner, Tom and Jerry. I don't know what to say to this. Both of them technically get Toon Force, but I guess we'll see. All right, yeah, I guess I'm gonna get up out of here. You know, like, subscribe, and all that. Peace.